Hi, I'm Pastor Thomas William Gardner, and I just had a few thoughts, and I just wanted to share these few thoughts. When we go through our life, everybody says, well, there's a road that is less traveled, and that's the one that you should travel. You should travel down this road straight and narrow. And I've thought about that, and then something else has hit me as I've tried to travel down that road in our journey, in my journey. That in our journey, there is a road, and down the road, there are turns. And down the road from that, there are many other turns. And Robert Frost said that the road less traveled, that he was walking through the woods, and there were two roads, and they diverged into yellow woods. Sorry I could not take and travel both of them, but long I stood, and I looked down as far as I could to where it bent down into the undergrowth. And he pondered about where the roads would take him and what would happen. And at the end of his travel and at the end of the poem, he says, there were two roads, and they diverged in the woods. And I took the one that was less traveled. And that made all the difference. That made all the difference. Now, our road, well, there are many ways that we can take, many highways and many byways. But the road, well, the road that you want to take is the one less traveled, the one that is straight and the one that is narrow, the path that is clear and the end that is bright. The race is a marathon, it's not a sprint, but someday we will see the finish line. Will we finish strong or will we fall behind? I say finish strong. I say finish with God. Because along the way, I believe that if you walk the straight and narrow road, that you're going to see miracles. I believe that if you stay close with God, that He's going to gift you. That's my belief. But I want to share something with you, and I want to show something to you. Many times in the Bible, the people that you most did not expect were the ones that were gifted. Not gifted because they had money, or not gifted because they had people working for them, or not gifted because they were kings or queens or whatever they were, because they walked close with God. Here's an example. We're in 1 Kings, we're in chapter 19. We're down to verse 4. But he himself went on a day's journey into the wilderness and came and he sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die. And he said, it is enough now. O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. Now, Elijah had it. He did all that he could. It was a great effort. He was exhausted, and he didn't want to be tortured by the people that were chasing him, and he just wanted to die. But see, the difference is he was walking close with God, and God wasn't going to just let him go or cut him adrift, and he was faithful with God. And all he really wanted from God at this point was just to go and die, and that would be the end of it. And he served God. But God had a better plan. See, God always does. And as he laid and he slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel came down and said unto him, arise and eat. Watch this. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat, and he did drink. And then he laid down. And the angel of the Lord came a second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is going to be too great for you. In other words, in your natural state. Now, what on earth did he feed him? You see, this was angel food cake. I mean, as silly as it sounds, there's no other answer for it. This was actual angel food cake. What's in angel food cake? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. And then he arose and he did eat and he did drink, and he went on his own strength of that meat for 40 days and 40 nights until he came to Horeb, the mount of God. See, it's spoken in the Bible that there is a river, and the river flows from God, and the river's in heaven. And on the river, on both sides, there are trees. And on those trees, there is fruit. And that fruit matures in 1 month. In other words, if you pluck it and you eat it, 30 days later, that fruit is mature again. And at the leaves, they heal nations. Now it's spoken about twice in the Bible. Now the angel gives him a cake, and he gives him a cruse of water. Now this wasn't any regular water. This was holy water, right? It came from an angel, right? It was holy water, right? And to top that off, you think your protein drinks are good, and you eat the avocados, and you eat all the good food, and you mix it all up, and you drink that green stuff, and the orange stuff, and the yellow stuff, and it's going to do a really good job for you. And I'm sure that it does, but can you sustain yourself for 40 days and 40 nights? Now remember, he wanted to die. Remember, he wanted to die, but he didn't. But God had a better plan. And he drank that off of a sleep that he was exhausted from. And the angel bugged him twice to do it. And he ate this angel food cake, and he had something to drink. And he was good for 40 days and 40 nights. Why? Because he was faithful to God. He was gifted along the way. If we stay with God, we're going to be gifted in different ways. Maybe with long life, or maybe our children following God, or maybe it'll be a legacy of people behind us that follow God, or maybe a lot of people that come to Jesus. We're going to be gifted. You can't outgive God. It can't be done. If you stay true with him and you stay strong with him, you can't outgive God. You see, Robert Frost said that there were two roads. He chose the one less traveled. He chose the one less traveled. I hope you're traveling that road. I hope it's an enjoyable road, and may you be blessed. Well, these are just some of my thoughts. I wanted to share them with you. Have a blessed day.